Hey y'all, this is Joe here in Wheeling. The video you're about to watch, if you decide to watch it, I'll give you a heads up in case you don't like these kind of videos. You won't have to sit through it. You can just do the thumbs down and leave. Um, I went out to finish up the solar panels, changing the ends on the solar panels in the barn, and thought I'd do one of my kind of random talking videos. And it's one that will give you a little more insight as to what makes Joe Joe. So if you're interested in that, I don't really talk much about, I don't do a demonstration how to change out the MC4 connectors because I've done that enough. It's primarily a discussion, you know, and if you like those kind of videos, then enjoy this one. And let me take this moment to ask you, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It all helps. Hit that bell notification so you get notified when I put up another video. And give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That interaction helps. And leave comments. I enjoy reading the comments. So here we go on with the movie. Here we go on with the video if you're interested. Thank y'all. Hey y'all. Welcome back to the barn. Welcome back to St. Bernard Acres. And welcome back to the channel. This is Tuesday, January 26th. And the camera is probably showing it lighter than what it really is. But the reason why I'm in a hurry to get this solar done, when I start working in here and I seal off these walls, it's going to be dark in here. So I'm going to need the lighting. And yeah, I'm out here to finish changing out the MC3 connectors over to MC4 connectors for these solar panels I'm going to use. And it's very ugly outside. It's cold, it's overcast, and it's raining. But what's nice is now, where all the rain and the weather would stop me when I was trying to work on the cabin, working inside the barn, it's not going to stop me. The only thing that's going to stop me is the cold. So, let me start changing these out. And I thought, what are you doing, Creamer? What you doing, huh? Creamer's down there keeping me company. This is the positive. I'm going to cut this off. I'm not throwing these away, remember my other video telling you how I'm doing this. Cut back a ½ inch or so. Oh, and yes, while editing this, I noticed it going in and out of focus. I'm sorry for that. Evidently my camera's going bad. I've been using that camera for 5 or 6 years now, so I don't know. I guess I got to figure out to buy a new camera. But yeah, I'm sorry that it goes in and out of focus like that. It was very, very windy out there. I don't know if that has something to do with, the clouds rolling by. I have no idea. But yeah, time for a new camera, I think. Here you go. And I had a subscriber tell me, not that I was doing these wrong before, but a different way to do it. And I'm going to try that because I believe he was right. There we go. These are the positive MC4s. These are the negatives. And what I was doing was taking all this apart with the rubber seal and everything inside it, sliding the various pieces onto this wire, and then tightening it all back down. And he said these are designed to just put the end on the wire and shove it all through here and then tighten it down, which does make sense. So I'm going to try that. First I have to put a piece on the wire, and I figured out the easiest way to do that last time I was here. Put it down. And that's good and solid. Then we take this and shove the whole thing through until we hear the click. There it was. And then tighten it down. Yeah, there we go. Now that is locked on and sealed. That's perfect. Holy crap. That's what I like about this channel. I learn things. So let's do that again with the negative side. You don't need to get up there, Creamer. You don't need to get up there. Put this on like so. All right. Good and solid. Oh, that's a positive. Negative end. So we can put this in until it snaps or clicks. Just like that. Hear it? Perfect. All right. Tighten it down. And there we have a perfect MC4 connector. I've given some hints now and then as to, you know, I didn't have the world's greatest upbringing. We weren't like very fortunate, my sister and brothers and I. And, you know, product of abuse and divorced parents and switching back and forth and just all kinds of ugly stuff that went on for years and years and years. They should never be allowed to go on with anybody. But, you know, you have to persevere. You have to get past that. And an interesting thing occurred. When I was in my, I don't know, I guess I was 28 maybe. I was living in Houston. And I wound up back in Cincinnati. And I went to work for this company. This guy, you know, this company hired me. And I got to know the owner of the company, Tom, and his brother Bob. They owned it. And Tom did. That was a lead, stupid. Tom, it was the first time I had I guess my first relationship with what you would almost consider a father figure. I don't want to say that because it wasn't, but he had confidence in me, and he taught me, he promoted me, and I was just, you know, going in there looking for a minimum wage job, you know, pretty much, because I didn't have any skills. I didn't really know much. And I guess he turned me into a commodity. You could look at it that way. When I left there, I was in a position with my experience and my knowledge that, now don't jump up here, you're gonna knock stuff down. I could go anywhere and get a job. really what he had done for me. And the guy meant that much to me. I'll tell you what, I got a job offer in Cleveland that was like my dream job. And I talked to Tom. Tom had gone in on Thanksgiving to have his, or right before Thanksgiving, to have the gallbladder removed. And the doctor, you know, noticed a spot on his liver, just took it off and did a biopsy on it. Tom had cancer. Went in on Thanksgiving Day and had half his liver removed and a big part of his colon removed. And was going through chemotherapy and everything. Well, I had gotten a job offer from this company in Cleveland who was going to sell my house for me, you know, in Wheeling, or in Cincinnati. We went up to Cleveland. My best friend worked up there. I went up there 3 times before I got the offer in the mail. We went up there, picked out a house in Shaker Heights. I mean, we'd done everything. And I quit. And I went to tell Tom what I was going to do. And, you know, it was hard to tell him, but his reaction, I mean, you know, he went through the gamut, you know, of emotions. And, you know, he was mad and tell me, you know, he's not a nice guy. If something happens, don't call him anymore. He's not doing any more for me. To, you know, tears that I was leaving him. And so by, you know, when that was over with, when I was done with that talk, I mean, you know, I would go to Tom's house on Sundays once a month. He was trained to be a chef. And we were in the printing and direct mail business, but he became a chef. His wife left him when his kids were little. He said he had to learn how to cook. He enjoyed it, and you know, went to chef school. It was very good. And once a month he'd have a breakfast, just guys, and he would try something new. We'd have to tell him whether or not we liked it. You know, things like that I do with Tom. And when Tom he got to where he couldn't walk, I would go over on Thursdays. They would have, in the men's lounge at the country club, they would have a dinner. No, you got to get down, doofus. They would have a men's dinner and drink things. I would take him over to the club for that, take him home. Then on Sunday mornings, I get up and go get him and take him to the club for the Sunday brunch. And, you know, they all played a round of golf. Tom couldn't play anymore, but he could go over for the brunch. But I wound up calling, I'm sorry, it's hard to talk about. No, you stay down there. Stay down there. Listens like Max. Really? Look, I'm coming over here. I'm not petting you. You gotta get down, dumbass. Come on. And I'm gonna lock you out of the barn. See what you're doing? So, anyway, I wound up, you know, calling Cleveland, the company in Cleveland, and telling them I couldn't take the job. I couldn't leave Tom. During the time, you know, of growing up and working there, I mean, during all that time, everybody in my family had died, as far as, you know, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas. I mean, everybody was gone. The last one was my dad, which was around 95 or 96. And it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders when he was gone. Because he was the last of the ones that knew about everything that was going on, but did nothing to stop it. So, sadly, when everybody died, I was happy. That made me happy, because I was still here. And, well, Tom, a few months after, I made the decision to stay with him, Tom died. And at his funeral, I was talking to his widow, and I told her, I said, you know something, this is going to sound really weird, but one of the things that I was deprived of, that I didn't even know, was I never grieved for any deaths. I had never grieved for anyone. And so for Tom, I grieved and still do. It's been 20 years and I still miss him, I still wish I could talk to him. So I thought that was rather interesting. I mean, to be, 40 years old, early 40s, before you find out what it's like to grieve for someone, because I'd never done that before. Every death prior to that was met with almost joy. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, and to go through the grieving process and to still grieve, and when my dogs are put, with Brandy especially, I mean, I grieved more for my pets than I did for anybody in my family, which is kind of sad if you think about it. It's a shame that that's the way things are, but I also think, and one of the things that did to me growing up, as a side note, was, you learn to be a parent from your parents. And I don't think people realize that, especially today. I don't think they stop to think about that. Your child is going to become a parent, and part of that knowledge of what to do as a parent, he's going to get from you, and how you treated him or her. So you got to think about that kind of stuff. Now, I knew that what happened to me, what happened to my sister, was absolutely wrong. We couldn't allow that to continue. And what you have to do, if you've been abused, it goes this generation, it's an excuse now. Well, he's that way because his dad was that way or his mom was that way, blah, 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 blah. I don't buy into that. I don't have much empathy for that, because you have to have the intestinal fortitude to break the chain, right? I married Gail. I stayed married to Gail. We're going on 40 years. My sister got married, and her husband, they're going on 45, 50 years, whatever. Our kids never experienced anything like that. They never had to go through that. They never had to go through the divorces and the swapping back and forth and all the abuse. They never had to deal with any of that. And so our kids are going to be better parents because of that. And I just wanted to throw that in. I know that has nothing to do with, me grieving for Tom. But I found it very interesting that I never knew what it was to grieve for someone until a guy who was no relation to me, other than my boss, until he died. Then I learned what grieving was. So, this is an interesting story. You know, I tell you these things, I want to mention this too, if you've stuck around long enough to hear the end of this. It's kind of nice in a way to be able to talk about this stuff in this environment. You know, this internet and the anonymity you can have. You know, there are some therapeutic factors to it. And I'm glad I can talk about this stuff with you guys and, you know, mention these things, and maybe somebody can learn from, you know, one of my experiences that I've been through. Don't do that. You know, try to avoid that at all costs, that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I appreciate you letting me tell you that. I'm sure there'll be others. But I'm going to continue on with work now. I got interrupted with phone calls. I got interrupted with the cat. I'm going to turn off this camera and finish up my job here so I can get out of here. Man, it's cold. My hands are cold, but they're warming up now. And I can do these last two panels, and then the next warm day looks like it's going to be, you know, in the 40s again in a couple of weeks. I can come out here and actually build a array, set them up and start wiring them up, because I've got to get some lights in here. And that's my main objective. Not tell you stories. But I hope you appreciate it. I appreciate you. You know, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. You know, that stuff helps. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because that helps. And let me know your thoughts. You know, this is an easy way. If something's bothering you, or if you need to talk to somebody, you know, we can comment. You can send me a message. You know, I'm more than happy to talk to people. I've experienced a lot, you know. I can share my experiences and my advice if anybody wants it. But this is Joe in Creamer, wherever he went. Creamer, there you are. Okay, I don't know if he's in Creamer or not. Sitting over there, you goofball. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to turn this off. I'm going to go to work. He's going to make me finish this stuff up so we can go. I'm out. Thank y'all.